It's 5:30 in the morning, our crops are starting to grow and we have some work to do. Hello again, I am Jim Bob and welcome back to Deutz Fahrm. First episode I've recorded for this series in a little while, thanks to having moved house. That's now kind of taken care of. So let's get straight into action. We've got a little bit of tidying up that we need to do as well for our animals before we go too far. You can see our crops are starting to come in. We've got a mixture of soybean and canola growing on our fields. But first off, we have mess that needs to be cleaned up. So, let's grab our front loader and a bucket. There we go, and that's the bucket in front of me there. And we'll start with the pigs, because they're right here. Let's see, can I actually get this bucket at the wrong angle? Still at the wrong angle. There we go, oops. Just clipped the trough there. I think the bucket's slightly too steep. I can't see it, which doesn't help. Alright, there we go. So we'll just tip that back into the trough. That's those guys taken care of. Let's go do the cows. Cows obviously around the corner. That's a lot of grass. Now I wonder if I can actually do it just by kind of pushing the bucket on the floor like this. No. So it's a little bit too steep an angle. So a bit like that should work in theory. Yes, there we go. So that's picking it up and dropping it straight down again as we go, which is quite useful. Let's get all those bits there. Okay. So should, I think, if I remember rightly, be able to... No, it's not going to let me do it. So I'll actually will have to tip this in the food trough around the corner. I wasn't sure last time whether I was actually able to scoop it up, and it's been so long since I've been on this map, I honestly couldn't remember. We'll tip it in here. And it's not taking grass at all. Are we full on grass? Is that why it's not accepting? Yes, we're full on grass, which is why it's not accepting that bit of grass. Okay, so in that case, let's dump it in the bunker up here. I've got to put it somewhere. Might as well put it somewhere where we can convert it into chaff. There we go. So there's always a little bit that just seems to refuse to want to actually go in. I have this problem on almost all of my farms. Look, I've got grass in here and it just doesn't want to go in, and I don't know why it does this. Really frustrating. Alright, let's another go at dropping it in this food trough. Now there's only 5 litres. Maybe we'll get lucky. No. Alright, let's just drop it on the floor in front of the food trough and we can grab it another time. Make our way back around here. It's so tight in this yard. I've forgotten just how tight it gets. We can close that off. And close this door as well. There we go. Right, so next up on the animal task, you can see we are a little short on straw and a little short on water for our cows, but not too bad. The pigs are slightly more of a concern. We need some canola slash sunflower slash soybeans, we need some wheat or barley, and we need some corn. So I do actually have some of those crops still in the silos. Obviously this is starting crop that we were given. Normally you get starting crop on normal and easy, and then you get nothing on hard, but this is, I believe, a hard playthrough. Yes, you can look at the prices, it is a hard playthrough, but because we actually start with everything on this map, you know, we start with animals and we actually start with stuff in the food troughs for them as well, we also actually start with a little bit of grain as well, which is also really quite helpful. So let's not attach that. There we go. Let's drop the front loader forks off. Let's get our trailer. We're going to start shuttling things back and forth. Make our way around there. So where is my pipe? It's just there, isn't it? So what do we actually have in here? Do we have straw and forage and stuff? No, we don't. We need wheat or barley. I think we needed some of that. So let's take the barley. And I'll go drop this at the pigs. We won't use all of this. We'll just use a little bit of it. So we'll loop around here. Like that. See the fog is rolling in, it's a little bit cloudy. There we go. Needed maybe about 1,500 litres to top them up. So I'll now tip the rest. Can I do a side tip? No. But it's still going in the silo anyway. Alright, so I'm going to need some canola next. Oops. So once again we'll do a little loop around the back of our fuel store. Turn here, and once again we won't use all of this, but we'll use some of it. There we go. And this time I'm going to be a little bit cleverer, I think. We'll back up to the pipe. A little bit further back. There we go. Now I need some corn. I do actually have corn, and we may well use all of this. Corn is, you know, by far the biggest ingredient in pig power food. I think it equates for half of their entire meal. There we go. Yeah, we used a fair bit there. How are our pigs looking now? Fantastic. Pigs are looking pretty much spot on. So we just need some straw and some water for our cows, and then they'll be good as well. I know we've got a water trailer. I'm trying to remember where it is. I think it's up behind that building there. So I took the forks off. I'm going to need those again because I'm going to need the bale spike to grab one of those straw bales. I've driven in a bad angle there. There we go. Right. So spike is obviously on the top there. Fold the spikes up for ease of travel, and also so don't accidentally gore something or someone. Let's go get that bale. One bale will probably be enough. Let's shortcut our way through this bunker here. There we go. You can see we've got plenty of bales. I'm gonna grab. Let's see how much straw we've got. So, yeah, one bale is probably going to be too much actually. I don't think it'll take a full bale. So we'll let that run down a little bit more, but we will deal with the water. So let's go get the water trailer. Now that, I believe, is just around this corner, if memory serves correct. Yes, there it is. You can see it up there, look. This is the first time we've used this trailer, actually. I believe. Shouldn't be anything in this. Yeah, completely empty. So, I'm pretty sure we have a water pump somewhere on the farm, but I'm curious as to whether or not we get charged for it. Let's see. Let's have a quick wander around, see what we can find. I'm pretty sure there was a water pump somewhere, and I'm trying to remember where it is. It's been a while, as I say, since I've been on here, and I haven't had to use any water yet, so memory is not what it should be, unfortunately. Let's see, around here maybe. I could have sworn we had a water pump somewhere. I haven't seen a water tower either. That's slurry. It's not going to be in here, is it? No. Where is the water? There must be. That's a static bale tower. Alright. Let's see if there's anything actually marked anywhere on here. I mean, we've got a stream and everything, so we can always just go grab water from there, but I did think that we had something on our farm, and I'm not actually seeing anything at all. I've probably gone straight past it and just not even noticed. So we've got the water mill just here in the sell point. I could have sworn there was definitely a water point on the farm, but I guess not. It's not lurking up here, is it? No. One last look. Oh, we've got the well there, look. Oh, Muppet. That's our water point. Right. And yes, we are getting charged. So, alright, let's not use the well. Let's see if we can find nice, easy access to a stream that's not too steep. Looks like the other side of the river is going to be a good spot. Or maybe... yeah, we'll go over the other side. It's quite a nice, shallow little patch just there. Just here by the side of this building. There we go, filling up and filling up for free. It's about as far as we could go before we started, you know, getting into trouble. Look how quickly that just drops away. Look. Right, there we go. So we've got 7,500 litres of water, give or take. That's going to be more than enough for a little while, I think. Now let's go and deal with our cows. So bouncy and bobbly. I do like that little visual touch. There have been so many great mods that have just made a difference to the way the game plays. I mean, it started out really with the full real mods. They were, you know, a great addition, you know, to give us ground response, crop destruction, you know, wheel dirt. And they really did make a difference to the way the game felt and played. Quite a significant difference. I realised I've backed in here and it's this trough, so I could have just driven him forward and then just turned around. Never mind. Remember that for next time. There we go, so top water up there. I think our pigs were fine, weren't they? Yeah, pigs are fine for water. So it's just straw, and I don't think they're going to take a full bale, so because they won't take a full one, they won't take anything. So we'll just have to wait until that goes down a little bit more, I think, before we can drop another bale in there. You know what, I'm going to leave this trailer here. I'm going to leave it out. Just here. Like that. There we go. Right. I'll focus on the bale fork. So yeah, the full real mods were like the first sort of game-changing mods that we got on console, and the latest one is Seasons. Seasons is now live on consoles, and it's fantastic. Absolutely loving it so far. Been kind of just jumping on and playing little bits here and there where I can, outside of having to sort of do recording for, you know, my Let's Play series. But yeah, really enjoying Seasons so far. It completely changes the way the game plays. It, you know, it makes it almost unrecognisable. You know, everything from the ground up is completely different. It's just such a nice new experience. I'm having, as I say, quite a lot of fun with that so far. Right, so we're going to plonk this away. We're going to use our aggro star. Left the lights on, there we go. Now we need to configure the wheels for this, because I don't want to damage the crops. So let's drive into our workshop, like so. And let's put on narrow tyre. Oh, I can't afford narrow tyres. I don't have any money. That's a problem. Okay, alright. It's going to be a while before we can use slurry. Let's go sell our slurry tanker. It's just sitting there at the moment collecting dust. So we may as well at least cash it in, put the money to good use, and then, you know, when we do need one, we can always buy it back or buy a different one. There we go. So we'll connect it up. Let's take this off to the store and make a sale. So, all this time I've been saying I wish there was more stuff that was Deutz Fahrm on the game. I wish we had Deutz combines. We had a Deutz combine pop up about a week ago, and no sooner did it pop up than it disappeared again, and I didn't get the chance to download it, and I was like, no! All this time I've been begging for more Deutz equipment on consoles, and we then got some. I couldn't get online in time to download it, because, you know, moving. And by the time I did get online, I went to download it, it was gone. It had been taken down again. I was absolutely gutted. Thankfully, it came back again, slightly edited and with a reduced capacity, but it's now back on consoles. It came out on Friday, same day as the Seasons mod came out. So here it is. Where are you? Where are you? Oh. I didn't. I've downloaded it. I just haven't added it into this. We are going to be adding that combine onto the farm when we get the time, or when we get the money. Sorry, it's a little expensive, and it's going to be a while before we can afford that. Even if we trade it in out of the combine, that's only going to keep going down in value, both in terms of age and use. It's just, you know, going to decrease ever so slightly every day in value, and every time we use it, it's going to go down in value, you know, a bit quicker as well. So by the time we actually have enough money and trade in that combine's actually going to be worth very little at all. It's probably worth around about 90,000 to us at the moment. It'll go down a lot more than that by the time we're in a position to actually buy the Deutz combine, and it's big for this map anyway. You know, we can just about get away with it. I did some size testing on a brand new Altenstein file, just to see whether or not I could actually incorporate it into this playlist, and I can, just if I'm careful. So we will be getting a Deutz Fahrm combine on this map very, very soon. Well, I say very, very soon. At some point, if we get, you know, a great demand and we've got a lot of crop, then that'll help. But we're going to be spending quite a bit of money getting our crops all sort of up and running, so let's start off by fertilising on the wrong side of the shed. Let's start by fertilising our fields, get the yield up. I need to zoom out for this so I can actually see what I'm doing. Let's get the working lights on. And that is a bit narrower than I thought, actually. I'm used to using the Massey Ferguson one from Black Sheep Modding's old generation Massey Ferguson pack, and that's really wide, ridiculously wide in comparison to this. Loop around the edge of the field a bit. There we go. So hard to actually see because of this fog, this cloud cover. And I can just about make out where I need to be. Shouldn't take us too long to get our fields fertilised up to stage 2. We'll have to do this one more time, obviously, to get them up to the full yield, but they are all ploughed, all of our fields, so we're going to get that extra 10%, and as I say, we're going to need it because money's tight. I really want to start plonking some trees down and help bring us in some kind of money. We've got enough to put down one tree right now, and I'm going to do it even though it's going to wipe out all the money that we have. simply because it will bring in extra income per hour. So that's that field done. Where is field 8? It's the other side of the path, isn't it? There we go. So we'll get this field done as well, and then as soon as we've done that, we're going to go and plonk the tree down. See those spuds there interspersed with the grass. Still don't know whether or not to just rip that up and turn it into a field, or leave it as is and then just harvest the spuds as and when we need some spuds. But for now, I'm just going to leave it like that because I'm not really sure what I want to do with that patch of grass just there. Of course, we had a similar thing earlier around near field 2. Just around the corner from there, we had that field that was a grass field with bits of wheat poking through. I did actually harvest that little bit of wheat. Didn't get a lot, but a little bit here and there. We ploughed that out, turned it into a proper field. There we go, that's this one done as well. So we're getting close to the end of an hour. You can see it's 7:47. So I want to try and get that tree down before 9 o'clock if I can. So let's quickly make our way over there right now. And get that tree positioned and placed. So we can start earning some cash. Oh, I was going to go then. Thought about it. Thought better of it. Take the working lights off, just switch back to regular headlights. This little bridge coming up is going to be our turn off. Just here. I suppose I could have gone through the farm rather than taking the road. It might have been a fraction quicker, but it's not that much of a difference. It's such a small map, and it's such a pretty map as well that I don't mind taking a scenic route. So here we are, back in our little area that we cleared out, ready for our orchard. The stumps have been ground out, the logs have been cleared away. So let's plonk an apple tree down. Placeables. That's regular trees. Apple tree. There we go. So I want to place a few of these around here. Let's start with one sort of in this corner over here. I don't want to put too many in, but I want to put enough in that we can actually kind of make a little bit of money. Now we need water, so actually I'm going to be a little cheeky. I'm going to slow time down to real time to give me time to get back to the farm, collect the water trailer, bring it up and water that tree before it turns 8 o'clock, and then we'll get a little bit of cash at 8 o'clock. It's a little bit cheeky to do that, but I can justify it. My game, I make the rules. Right, so quickly nip out. It's over by the cows, isn't it? Alright, so let's drop the fertiliser just there. Let's go get our water trailer. swing it out a little bit so I can make that tight turn. There we go. We're just going to make it look. Plenty of time to get up there now. There we go. So, we're going to make our way quickly up here. Drive in, top that tree up with water. We'll get the apples to then start spawning, and we'll start making, I think it's only 20 per hour. Might be 40. Can't remember off the top of my head. There we go. So, we have water on the tree. We have apples growing. I think that makes quite a nice little thumbnail for this episode, actually. Let's try and see if I can get a shot with the trailer in it as well. There we go. Yeah. Lovely. There we go. That's a screenshot for our thumbnail. Yeah, 20 euros an hour. So that's not too bad. And when we get manure on those trees, that'll double it to 40. So we could actually go straight away, you know, with manure on that tree. We do have some manure. We'll do that afterwards. We've got a little bit of time. Oh, actually, we need the other tractor for that because we need the front loader. So, yeah, we can drop the water trailer off, and then we'll hire a worker briefly to just fertilise one of our fields while we stick some manure on that tree. If I thought about it, I would have just brought the water up with the Fortis, with some manure as well as the water trailer. Right, so let's park there. We won't bother with the worker. It's not worth it. You know, it'll take him 2 seconds to do the field and will just cost us money that we could just use ourselves. So, the whole point of buying that tree was to actually make a little bit of money, not spend it. So, let's use our manure fork. I'm not quite sure why it's yellow. It's just the way it came on the map. But, I may repaint it. We'll leave it as it is for now. So it's going to need 1,000 litres of manure. Trees need 1,000 litres of manure and 500 litres of water. That's a little bit more than we need. Let's see if I can tip that back out a touch. There we go. Beautiful. Exactly 1,000. So let's take this up to the tree. Beacons on. It's a busy junction this morning. Ooh, just clipped the side wall of the bridge there. Got bounced around a little bit. And let's apply this manure to the base of our apple tree. So, lights on. And this is so you can just see if you haven't seen these trees in action before. There we go, you literally just tip it at the base of the tree, it'll all pile up like that, and now that will now start producing 40 euros per hour instead of 20. So that little bit of manure will make all the world of difference. It literally doubles the output of our tree. But the trees are basically, they're like the greenhouses, so you plonk it down, you give it some water and you give it some manure, and it gives you money. And they obviously will run out, so you have to keep topping them up with water keep topping them up with manure, just as you would with the greenhouse, and they will keep giving you money. Alright, so plonk the manure fork back in here. There we go. Drop the front loader arms down to the ground. Damn it, pick the bucket up again. I'll have to push the bucket a little bit further back, I think, so it doesn't do that so often. There we go. And now, let's go park this back up, get back in the Deutz Fahrm, and we will continue fertilising our fields. Like that. There we go. So, I've had a few people ask me if I plan on doing seasons on this map, and the answer is no. At least not for the time being, anyway. This is a hard farm rather than just a normal farm, so it's already, you know, considering how small the fields are, it's already enough of a challenge. I don't want to have to throw seasons in there yet on top of that as well, especially as I'm still trying to figure seasons out. You know, it's only been out for a little over a day. I haven't had much time to actually play on it yet because I've been recording for my Let's Plays now that I'm actually settled at my new place and have some time to record. So yeah, I want to get confident and comfortable with seasons and know what I'm doing before I start dropping it onto everything. I am going to be doing a seasons Let's Play on the Valley the Old Farm. That map is actually fully seasons ready on consoles, so I will be doing a seasons farm on that, and that'll be a kind of a let's figure this out as I go kind of farm. And once I've got that kind of figured out, I'll start doing some sort of tutorial videos for everyone on how to use seasons on console, what things to look out for, some little helpful hints and tips, and I may even then start adding seasons into some of my existing farms as well. But I know that seasons isn't for everybody. Some people do like it, some people don't, and I don't want to just flood the channel with nothing but seasons content. So what I'll do is I'll keep some of my farms on normal, you know, like this, and some of my farms will go to seasons, like the Valley the Old Farm will be a seasons farm. I don't know which of my farms I'll be, you know, editing and, you know, converting over to seasons, so to speak. I have thought about Big Bud Farm as a seasons farm, but I have a huge amount of very big, very expensive equipment on that farm. I have a lot of animals, and that map is not completely seasons compatible. So, well, at least not at the moment. So I'm a little wary of going on to seasons because it could completely bankrupt me if I'm not careful. You know, it's going to take so long to actually get any kind of crops in, and the pricing on those is going to be a little bit sort of wild and fluctuating depending on the time of year. That I'm still going to be incurring constant costs in terms of animal upkeep and vehicle maintenance, and my milk income is going to fluctuate a lot throughout the calendar year as well, based on, you know, availability of things like grass and other materials, and whether the cows are in breeding season. So yeah, it's going to be a real kind of challenge figuring out exactly which farms are going to be ones to convert. I've got that little field around the corner, haven't I? Bouncing around a little bit too fast. Let's slow down a touch. There we go. A little bit more controlled. There we go. Making my way up the hill. So yeah, some of my farms will become seasoned farms, some of my farms will stay as they are. So I don't want to flood the channel with nothing but seasons. I don't want to leave seasons off completely. You know, I want to try and cater for all audiences in that respect. You know, the seasons fans and the people who aren't fans of seasons at all. Because I have seen quite a few people already posting, tried it for 10 minutes, didn't like it, uninstalled it. And I think in some cases people have probably haven't quite figured out exactly what it is they need to do with seasons, which is why they've gone, don't like this. Because it's new, it's kind of a little alien to them. It's not what they're used to. I've always found that is the case. You know, when someone doesn't understand something, their instant reaction is to just not like it. We don't like what we don't understand. I remember many years ago when I was a kid, I had this game called Whizball on my, I think it was my Commodore? Was it my Spectrum? Pretty sure it was my Commodore. I had a C64 when I was a kid and a Spectrum 48K before that. But I had this game called Whizball and I just did not understand it, and so I thought it was crap. I thought it was a rubbish game, didn't like it, never played it. And a friend of mine said, what do you think of Whizball? And I said, oh, it's rubbish, can't stand it, hate it. You know, it's just a stupid game. And he said, do you know how to play it properly? And I'm like, not really. So he showed me how to play it properly. And I fell in love with it instantly, and it actually became one of my favourite games. And I don't really remember it that well anymore, but you know, I played it all the time, you know, non-stop. I played that game for about 2 months, if I remember rightly. I just couldn't get enough of it once I understood it and I knew what I was doing and I knew how to play it, you know, properly. I fell in love with it instantly, and I think that's just the same for, I think, quite a few people with seasons. They don't understand it properly, so their instant reaction is to go, I don't like it, it's rubbish. Because it's human nature to not like what we don't understand. So I think over time, if people give it a go and you know, research the mod a little bit more and look into exactly what it is and how it works, and play with a little bit of knowledge, I think it might change their minds. But who knows? It is a complete, you know, a completely different ethos when it comes to Farming Simulator. It's so different to what we have right now. You know, everything is controlled by the mod. You know, you can't even have a choice as to whether you turn withering on or off. That is locked by the mod. You know, your economy is locked by the mod. Even starting, you know, manual start on your tractor vehicles is locked by the mod. You know, everything is controlled by seasons. It's you know, is a very demanding mod, and it is one of those mods that you really do have to kind of pay attention to in quite a bit of detail and depth, I think, to get the most out of it. And I've read up a little bit on it already to kind of prepare myself for it. I've got a reasonably good understanding of it, but I wouldn't by any means say that I'm an expert on it. I mean, it's been out for a day and I've maybe had 2 hours on it so far, so yeah, by no means am I an expert. But I do like what I've seen so far, and I am really looking forward to sinking my teeth into it properly and really getting to grips with that. I think it's going to be, you know, fantastic, and like I say, it will completely change the way I play, you know, those farms. It has to, you know, you have to change the way you play, because you can't just plant what you want, when you want, where you want anymore. Now it's very controlled. You know, there is a set routine that you kind of have to go through, and if you don't, well, you know, nothing's ever going to work. You plant when the soil is the wrong temperature, and your crops are just going to start dying instantly. So You know, you try and sell at the wrong time of the year and you're going to make a pittance on your crops. It's not a case of just sitting there stockpiling waiting for a great demand. Now you have very specific windows of time where you're going to get the best return for your crop, depending on what your crop is. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to really sinking my teeth into it, and I don't think this is going to be one of those maps that I do seasons on. I think this one is probably just going to stay like this. Like I said, this is a hard playthrough, so we're already sort of handicapping ourselves by having, you know, very, very low prices on what we sell. And I just don't know if I want to, you know, throw seasons in on top of that. At least not at this stage anyway. Who knows? Maybe in the future we'll look at it. But maybe Deutz Fahrm will relocate to a different map in the future, and then we'll do seasons. We'll see. There are so many possible farms that we could look at. But I think, want to kind of do it on maps that are properly configured to get, you know, the full season's experience. Right, I don't think I'm going to have enough to do the next field. I'm pretty much certain we're not going to, so make our way through here. We'll do what we can. And then we'll just have to go back and top up a little bit more, I think. Kind of hoping I could get it all done so it would keep us close to 5,000 and we can maybe get another tree. Which reminds me, I need to speed time back up. I'll do that in just a second. Alright, let's, there we go. Yeah, let's just go top this spreader up. How many fields have I got left to fertilise? Done 4, 8, 2, 22. The field next to 2, done 18. I'm doing 16, 13 hasn't been harvested because it's sugar beets, so this is the last field then, and that's quite handy because we are almost out of time, so let's just do just a little bit, just a touch. That'll do, that'll be enough. Like I said, I don't want to spend a huge amount of money when we're close to actually being able to afford a second tree. We only need another 1,400 or so, and then we'll be able to get a second tree and start earning 80 euros an hour, which will help tremendously with our costs because we are still losing money every day. So that tree is going to definitely help offset those losses and actually help us maybe even turn a profit, depending on whether we're spending a lot of money on materials like this, like fertiliser. It's just kind of a shame that we had to sell off a piece of equipment to be able to do it. But, you know, it's equipment that we're not using, so it kind of made sense to do that. It's getting bright enough we can actually turn the lights off now. Cloud cover is gone. Back to pretty much blue skies and sunny skies now, so can I get all that in one go? Hopefully, yes. Let's find out. Yes, look at that, just. Beautiful. Right. That's it. That's all of our fields fertilised. So we need to let these grow a bit more. We are on slow growth, so it's going to take a while for that to happen. So hopefully, while that's happening, we'll earn a nice little bit of cash off our tree, enough to buy a second tree. We'll get that tree placed, and then when our crops go to the next stage, we might even have enough for a third tree. You never know. At the very least, we'll have enough to cover the cost of our fertiliser for the next round of crop growth. So let's drop that in there. Close the gate behind us. There we go. Head up here. I'm not going to switch the wheels over because we're only going to need it again in a little while. Let's give the equipment a quick clean off. Cleaning your vehicles apparently in seasons is something that you need to do as well. You know, leaving your vehicles excessively dirty will contribute to maintenance issues, and I kind of like that. I think it's a clever idea. You know, we can't really look after our vehicles that much. I mean, I know that there are all sorts of funky mods on PC where you can manually repair your vehicles to remove hours off them and keep their maintenance costs really low. You can do all sorts of weird things on console. Sorry, on PC, but on console, it's basically just a cosmetic thing. Seasons will actually mean that washing your vehicles does have a purpose, which is really cool. So, right, that's it for another episode of Deutz Fahrm. Thanks for watching. I am Jim Bob, and I will be back with some more Deutz Fahrm action very soon.